Okay, here we go. Freestyle Friday number 9. Now, before you jump the gun on anything, this is supposed to be like a house party type song like 2004, so sing along when you can. That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me
We're back.
Just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome.
SoundCloud, iTunes.
To get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that
Shot from the point, bitch. Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe. This is the most badass YouTube broadcasting out the known land, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tommy C. And this Shot from the point. That's right. Basically been complaining, and rightfully complaining. I'm not going to sit there and dump on the fans for this. Basically, all the way back to our hockey days, why we didn't have a podcast on iTunes. I dumped $100 into it. Thank you, the fan, for the donations. You paid for it. We're up on SoundCloud and iTunes. You can download it or listen to it or stream the audio portion as we go. The only problem is you got to be
easiest for you.
I wouldn't say it's easy for me because I do think there's a visual element to this podcast that you might miss. But I mean, I listened to Howard Stern growing up. They'd watch videos together, and it did seem to work. So
he did all right.
Yeah, everything's in the description box below. I'm very happy about it and all that good shizer. Jeff, welcome back. Seems like it's been a minute, but it's only been 7 days.
It really does feel like, working in the big boy world. It's weird because ever since I got this new job, it feels like some things like time has flown by, and then at other times it's like, shit, that was only like 4 days ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, we used to, God, I mean, you think about it, we were together for 3 years straight, like just about every day or at least every Sunday. Usually
right,
you get you a day or two during the week with in the crease, and then every Sunday with either Jake or Real Talk. It's been a long, strange ride. That thing. And before we get into it, I got one more ad to pull. Check it out. Look at white, baby. You can get Chop from the Point, Get to the Point merch in the description box below, and you can look as sexy as my middle-aged ass. That's right. Get to the point.
Looks good.
Coffee tastes better in these cups. It's a proven fact.
I bet it is.
Do you remember when we did a quick podcast about German beer and how they're not allowed to say their beer is the best or this is the best over here because it can't be proven?
Yes, I do.
Well, I noticed, and I wondered if it was a translated episode or a translated thing. I saw on Twitch a German commercial, and it said, Die beste Liga in der Welt. And I was like, that's against the law unless they changed it. But I wonder if an American company got a German to voice over it, or an Austrian or somebody from Switzerland that wouldn't have been able to tell them that. But then again, I would have just, if I was German, like, hey, you just got to speak German, say the best in the world. Hey, wait, you know what? I'm going to just take the money and run. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you can't really say stuff's the best because it can't be proven. It's considered fraud or false advertising. Stupid rule, to be honest with you. You can't say shit's the best. Maybe you really believe that shit.
Pretty retarded.
It is pretty lame there, Stone Mexican guy. I like Stone Mexican guys. All right, let's get into YouTube. Drama's been a little slow other than the top tier Jake Paul shit. I had a little conversation with Comedy Shorts Gamer today about that. I might get into that later.
Yeah. Is he coming on the show?
I think we're past that. I think we're past Comedy Shorts Gamer coming on the show. He hits me up. But when he does hit me up, it's to talk. So, I mean, I just feel weird at this point. It's been over a year since I asked him. I did do another episode where I said that I only done it once or twice. I did do it more than once, or the amount of times that I said it did, but it wasn't any more than that. I actually checked the DMs. I did ask him. I'm not asking him. I asked him he can come on if he wants. But that don't matter because we're pulling for KSI and Denji if he gets in the ring with Logan. All right. I'll get into that little story later, right?
Let's work on that cardio.
Yeah, I think we gave it. I think we gave it enough, Raminator. I think we gave it enough time. I'm not getting on my knees. I asked. He said, "If you're on, that's it. Whatever is what it is. Is what it is." I just don't see. I don't feel like I don't feel like I need to get on my knees to do that. I probably could. You know what? Maybe here's what I'll do. I'll ask Max Mofo. I'm comfortable enough with him where I can seem like I'm not trying to take advantage of the situation. I'll ask Max. Would you like to see that? Get a Max Mofo interview? I'll make up for it.
And there you go.
I'll ask Max Mofo if he can come on, or we'll do an Australian-friendly time live broadcast. I think that would be badass. All right?
Go for it.
Yeah. I think it's a... Copper Cab is probably going to be interesting, not just an interview. He's actually coming on and talk about being a host, but I don't think he's really into Twitter, even though he's whatever. All right, let's get into the YouTube portion of it. InfoWars gets a strike. You guys know I'm a free speech advocate. You guys know that I'm a huge Gamergate advocate. I don't like when people's political opinions are shut down on a platform that's supposed to be free. But what happens when it goes beyond that? What happens when it has nothing to do with political opinion? What happens when it's blatant falsehoods? What happens when it's a situation like Joy Sparkle, where we have a nut making it hard for another family because she wants to be involved? I don't think that counts as free speech, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. You take the retard fucker over on Raspy's show. This is my platform, he wouldn't be on it. And that's not a free speech thing. That's like, you can't sell your shit in my store type thing. So, I'm a little iffy on this one. And the fact that, one of the reasons I'm really iffy on it is what he got the strike for. Get this, harassment and bullying.
I'm surprised it took that long.
It has nothing to do... InfoWars is a comedy show. You know, that's the best argument I heard against these work.
Nope.
You're right.
Every time I see these like little video recreations on Twitter, I laugh hysterically.
Well, that's another Twiz Gamers. What if it's just a theory? I mean, you could put crazy theories out there. It's a little weird. I'm not sold either way. Let's go to this article written by Carrie Flynn. InfoWars is a multimedia outlet popular with the far right and famously for its conspiracy theories. Is facing some pushback on the tech platforms that host its content. The latest controversy is related to InfoWars video about the Parkland shooting in Florida as tech companies continue to crack down on fake news and hate speech. YouTube has given one strike to the Alex Jones channel. InfoWars, the largest largest YouTube channel, CNN reported Friday, citing an anonymous source familiar with the matter. That's interesting. If a YouTube account receives 3 strikes in 3 months, it's permanently bad, according to YouTube's community guidelines. And it doesn't say this. They got it for harassment and bullying. But they go on. I'll give you the reasons. Jones put out a statement in the form of a 14-minute video shared to Facebook shortly after CNN's report. Jones claimed that CNN is openly lobbying for Congress to completely remove InfoWars, as the video description reads. That would not shock me. Not because Alex Jones is a right-winger. And I find it bizarre that people call him, like, you know, the conspiracy theorist of the alt-right, or the conspiracy theorist of the far right. Was he the conspiracy theorist of the far right when he was going on and on about how George Bush had 2 planes fly into those buildings? Was he a conspiracy theorist for the left when he was railing on and on about Kennedy being shot by God knows how many people? I don't really think that Alex Jones is a spokesman for the far right or the far left. I think Alex Jones is just Alex Jones. He's a kook.
Batshit insane.
Batshit insane. I mean, he said some of the... I mean, I thought he was a leftist during the Iraq War. And I don't have this. And I apologize I get this wrong. This is a big one to get wrong. I seem to remember somebody, when I was in the Army, showing me something either he said or wrote. And I'm not 100%... Maybe I shouldn't say this.
Yeah, do it anyway.
Yeah, fuck it. This is complete... This is going on 12 years ago. I seem to remember something coming from Alex Jones saying... The Jews got notified to get out of the friggin' towers. It's pretty disgusting shit, if that's true.
Not great.
I seem to remember somebody showing me that. I also do remember clearly that they would do these man-on-the-street interviews. What do you think about the towers? And these people would sound like normal people, and then they would go into these Alex Jones Lights rants. They were obviously set up. Like, they were just going nuts. And it sounded like he's repeating the same talking points of Alex Jones. So whatever he's accusing CNN of is probably what he's done himself. That's when he was really crazy. And then there was, of course, the thing in Connecticut. What was the name of that school? I forget.
Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook. False flag. And now he's suggesting a false flag here. I got to be honest with you. I find it disgusting when he made false flags about 9/11, Sandy Hook, and now picking on this kid. I don't know if I'd want to host this stuff if I had the power to stop it. Now, I understand it is a comedy show and nobody really takes him terribly seriously. But ask yourself something. Ask yourself something. Do you want to be responsible for spreading bullshit? It's bullshit. They are saying that I said that no one was shot in Florida and that I put out videos saying they're all crisis actors, which I never said. Jones said in the video, elaborating that his videos and others were only exploring the point that one student, David Hogg, is in the drama club. 35 bucks off the bat. YouTube is putting chemicals in the water that turns a friggin' frogs gay. So he's in the drama club. I mean, that's just like, it's such a reach. But should he be punished for that? The other side of this is there's plenty of other left-wing conspiracy theorists and other right-wing conspiracy theorists that do the same thing. Are they going to apply this across the board? Is everybody that has a theory or some kind of speculation going to be punished? That makes me think Alex Jones shouldn't have got the strike. And the only reason he did it is because this is a hot political topic, being the park, being a recent school shooting.
It was so close to when the event.
Yeah, so that means they're only going to enforce it when it's a hot button issue, not when it's happening. I don't know, all the fucking time.
If you would have waited a year, do you think this would happen?
What does this mean for UFO conspiracy theorists and other types of conspiracy theorists that don't concentrate? They go on and on about the Kennedy assassination. There's plenty of conspiracy theory videos. Now I'm actually starting to work this out. No. Unless you're going to crack down all the time. And you can't sit there. And the problem is when you call something fake news, it's subjective. No. And or YouTube comes out and says right up front, we are not a free speech platform. We're only going to platform the people we see fit, which would be a lot more honest. And then you can say, hey, look, it's our company.
At least you can. I can at least somewhat respect that.
Yes.
Just because they're upfront about it.
There are tons of conspiracy theories on YouTube. Now that I'm thinking, I was actually thinking about sticking up for YouTube going into this. Now that I'm talking out loud.
Oh, please, you were never going to do that.
No, that's not true. I was a little worried about this coming off the deplatforming thing with Joyce Sparkle. I was wondering if I was going to piss a lot of fans off. Seriously, not kidding.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, no, maybe in this situation, no. But I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't want this shit. If I own YouTube, lock, stock, get the fuck out of my store. You know. Again, folks, I didn't want to do this. These are kids. This is awful, but there is, but there it is. And there's more, he said. YouTube removed the video from InfoWars' YouTube account on Wednesday due to harassment and bullying, according to CNN. It's just, whatever. Harassment and bullying. The ultimate catch-all. Say something mean. And that's been used against people that have actually made legitimate criticisms. This is far from the only fake news video on YouTube, and the platform has been focused on combating the issue. I don't know. Are they? I've heard Facebook. Not YouTube. Not on fake news. They're more worried about ads being on a video with the N-word in it. That seems to be their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as CNN openly trying to get rid of them, it wouldn't shock me. I'm pretty sure the Wall Street Journal is trying to have an impact. Hell, Sargon of Akkad has more influence than them. The three-strike policy is part of that effort. Policing it with human moderators assessed by artificial intelligence and user reporting is another. For example, the video claiming Hogg to be a crisis actor is still available in the War Room as part of InfoWars that is typically hosted by Stoyer. On Friday afternoon, the video received more than 12,000 views. That's nothing. War Room's account has almost 37,000 subscribers, which is far less than Alex Jones' channel. More than 2.2 million subscribers. YouTube did not immediately respond to requests to comment. Jones' comment on CNN reports that he was looking to sue the media companies for reports like this from CNN. And as we know, Leor Lesser says, good fucking luck. He says he feels bad for places like... See, that's where it really bothers me, like something like Prager University, where they have a conservative viewpoint and their stuff's being demonetized or outright lifted. That's what I'm against. But I got to be honest with you. If YouTube wants to kick off the Ku Klux Klan, I'm fine with it. If YouTube wants to kick off the retard fucker, I can't say I'd be terribly upset. Why do they have to host this? But maybe it's time for all these things that we're not exactly a free speech platform. We're free speech within limits, which I could almost stand. Well, then it's not free speech. There's got to be something.
Yeah, but at least they're upfront about it.
They're not upfront about it.
No, I'm saying at least they would be.
Yeah, and also, and it wouldn't be the worst thing for YouTubers because we know where we stand.
Exactly. You know what you can do and can't do. That'd be too easy though, and that's no fun.
I hope you guys hit the phones hard, and I'm really interested. Maybe straighten me out. I'm still kind of wishy-washy about it. Let me tell CNN, let me tell YouTube, I'm going to start suing media companies and organizations. I've met with lawyers. I've lined them up, Jones said in the video. Sounds like Joy Sparkle.
Get those two in a room. See what
and look, as much as I feel for Prager, because they're a legitimate, alternative, dissident opinion from Google's sort of woke policy. You know, being woke means being, for all types of censorship. But I think that's the problem. They pass themselves. Then it becomes less YouTube. Let's just call it Tube. Periscope, Twitter's live streaming service, also hosts a version and saved copies of the same show. Mashable cannot find a copy of David Hogg can't remember his lines in a TV interview. That's what he said. This kid just watched his classmates get slaughtered, and that's what he said. Look, I don't agree with David Hogg either. I don't think an assault rifle ban is going to do anything, much of anything, and I think it actually trips away at people that do have assault rifles and do the right things with them. I don't agree. I don't like the way the media use these children.
Bad person with a gun. Yeah.
I don't like the way the media use these children. I think that's a legitimate criticism. But to attack the kids,
happens with every one of these school shootings, though. They use everybody.
Yeah, I know. Like let me criticize a conservative, Dinesh D'Souza, which Philly D went on about. I think what he said was disgusting. It's attacking the individuals and the kids themselves. I think you say these kids are being used to push a left-wing agenda. I think that's a fair criticism. To sit there and say, oh, look at these snowflakes. Man, come on. You don't even know if they made those kids go there.
Yeah, but they just watch their friends, their teachers, just get absolutely obliterated.
And I think they have a right to disagree with my policy on gun control. And I think I could do it without completely lighting them up and saying, like, I don't know, I just like there's so many things you can do and sound like a normal human being and not like you don't give a fuck.
Again, being a normal human being,
it's both fucking sides. On the left, it's like we're trying to use absolutely every opportunity to disarm the public. I'm sorry. That's what I believe. That's what I see. They talk about reasonable gun control rules, and they offer you takeaway. It's bullshit. They're not for reasonable gun control. And on the other side, it seems like the right will just say anything. They're actors. And by the way, Alex Jones ain't the only one saying this, or they'll attack the kids. No. You can attack the use of the kids, though. I'll tell you that. That's repulsive. And nobody's getting upset for CNN for calling that hero who realized some of the gym curtains were made of Kevlar and covered the friggin' students. He claims, although it's more of a he said, she said in this situation, that he wanted to ask a question about mental health. And about maybe, I don't know, putting these guys away before they shoot up the school, because all of them seem to have tons of signs. And they said stick to the script. There's no evidence in either direction. But goddamn Anderson Cooper got up and called this hero a liar.
Nice.
So it happens on both ends. It ain't just the right.
Telling you.
It's disgusting.
Alt middle for life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even a middle guy. I'm on the right. But some of them are fucking crazy. We reached out to Twitter. If it was taken down in Periscope and they reprimanded it from words and affiliates for violating its policy, whatever. See, now it sounds like you jackass and Manageable's trying to get him taken down. This whole article is like, ooh, 2 more strikes to go. Now, man, why do I trust you?
No.
You probably left a whole bunch of shit out that I don't even know. I'm really interested to hear what you think. Disagree with me? Radical centrist, some black guy. So it's like,
yeah, alt middle.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not middle. I'm on the right. I wouldn't say I'm proud, but I just am. That's the way I feel.
You lean more that way.
Yeah, I lean more on the right. When it comes to hookers and drugs, I'm all fucking on the left. When it comes to hoes and coke, I'm all for it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not coke. Weed. Nah, I'm a libertarian. I think I secretly have always been a libertarian. It just took me a long time to. You know what made me a libertarian? Seeing what a fuck up Iraq was in person. Lefties went wrong about everything. Let me tell you. But that was another situation where I saw plenty of people on the left attack the individual soldier. They wanted us to lose. I remember clearly when Nancy Pelosi was demanding that Turkey, who, by the way, and I was in the north, it's a crit, apologize for shit that went down in World War I. It was like a Holocaust of, I forget, some minority group that the Ottoman Empire did, not the modern Turkish government, which is pretty whack now anyway. And they basically said, man, if you reprimand us for this one more time, make us apologize this for like the 13th time, we're going to stop trucks going over the border and helping your troops out. Because that drive was important, especially to Crit, where we were, and Camp Spiker, and then his fob Spiker. We needed those trucks. Nancy Pelosi didn't give a fuck. She wanted us to get fucked up. So she could say how horrible so she could get this. So she could say how poor are these soldiers. Same thing with a lot of these anti-gun people. They want people to get shot the fuck up. How else are they going to take guns away? Nobody's running around shooting up schools. They don't got an argument. So I think it's fucked up. Yeah, radical centrist.
A little bit.
Some black guy, great YouTuber. If you haven't subbed him, do it already. You'd be crazy not to. He's going on about Black Panther. He dressed up in the African gear when he refused Black Panther.
That's great. I still need to see that movie.
It's woke. I remember in the early. He's probably too young for this because he's like 10 years younger than me. But maybe he does. He'd be a little kid then. He'd been a little kid then. Excuse me. I don't know where my language went there.
Yeah, that's normal.
There was this kind of movement, late 80s, early 90s of. I mean, it'd be sort of like me going back to Ireland, getting to know your roots and shit. Mm-hmm. Around the same time in the New York area, there's a lot of African immigrants coming in. It was kind of parodied a bit in the movie Coming to Africa in Eddie Murphy's. Or what was the movie with Eddie Murphy? Ah, fuck.
What year?
88, 89. Ah, fuck. That was a great flick. Iranian genocide. That was it before too.
Yeah, you got me. So.
Where fuck, man? Coming to America. That was it. There's a scene where I remember they go to Madison Square Garden during a Ranger game or something, Knicks game or something like that, and Eddie Murphy goes in and I guess he's trying to get the girl, and all the guys that worked the ticket counter were like African, which they wore back in those days. And they were like, oh, it's Prince such and such. It was a great move. But I noticed when a lot of these immigrants came in, there was racism between the African Americans and the Africans, not unlike bigotry I've seen between Irish and Irish Americans. It was almost identical. You're not really black. I'm pure. You're some kind of half-breed. It's fucked up. So that getting in touch with the African thing lasted till about 92, and everybody fucking forgot about it. And the garb that some black guy had on was very similar to a lot of cats were like, you know, they went from those garbs, you know, I'm in touch with Africa. A lot of rap groups back then were sort of like tributes to, I guess, African garb. Around 92, a lot of African immigrants in New York, and they were like, fuck that. Man, fuck Africa. I'm from Brooklyn. You know, it was a lot of that going on. But I've experienced that myself with, you know, the bastard sons of Erie that used to come around Jersey. So I think I can connect with that at that level. Anyway, I'm looking to hear you guys out. I'll put on some Mormon guy. He generally has intelligent things to say. Mormon guy, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Tommy?
You tell me, man. When am I off or I'm on in this shit? I'm not even sure myself.
I think you're on, but I don't know if it's going to be a long-term solution for YouTube.
It's almost like they'd be opening a can of worms. Now they're going to have to hit every conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, my biggest question is, so like TV right now is still viable because the CPM for the ads is still really good.
Yeah.
So are they going to have YouTube and then YouTube after dark? Or, you know, like, how are they going to divide up content?
Like HBO and Showtime?
Yeah.
You know, HBO and Showtime back in the 80s? They had that really weird, like, soft porn with the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It used to come on around 1 o'clock in the morning. Is that what it is? YouTube.
Well, I mean, even Adult Swim, you can look at Adult Swim. How many Adult Swims can there actually be, right?
Yeah. Man, I don't even know.
And so my biggest thing is, like, they could crack down on conspiracy theorists and make bigger TOS, but at the same time, you're going to lose that kind of at home, say whatever you want charm.
I think we've already lost it. Would you agree, Jeff?
Yeah, I'd say at the top end, yeah.
I think we already lost the charm that you can pretty much get away with anything on here. I think those days are long over.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've been over for a long time, at least 12 months now.
For sure.
You know, the charm's gone. I mean, I don't know. It's harder and harder to make a living. It's harder and harder to get noticed. You know, I think a lot of YouTubers
I got a big boy job.
Yeah. A lot of YouTubers were happy that they closed the gate, made it a little harder to get noticed, a lot harder to monetize. They're like, oh, this is good for this reason. You know what they're happy about? Less competition.
Less competition.
That's what they were happy about. I was the only YouTuber. Like, I have very few. Like, even Dave was for it, right? Dave was for it. I mean, I'm not saying he had to say, but it's just, to me, I don't know. It's too bad. I don't know, Mormon guy. I'm not totally set on it, but it definitely opens up. I think it's legit slippery slope, not a slippery slope fallacy, to jump on Alex Jones. And I think he was only selected because of the cruelty of his comments. And I don't want a situation where it's like I speculate on something that's going to happen. That's a conspiracy theory. You get a strike.
I know, but as a business, though, if you look at the bottom line, YouTube might do well to cut content and say, you know, make stricter rules to be putting on. Number one, you wouldn't have to pay to host it, and then number two, you wouldn't have to deal with conspiracy theories, calling out kids and saying Sandy Hook didn't happen, all that stuff.
Another thing is, a lot of people don't want to lose Alex Jones because he's fucking entertaining. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he hosted on his own website. I mean, the YouTube is just another way for him to monetize what he does already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean, that's it. That's another problem. The only way to get everything, you got to go through YouTube to get noticed. That's one of the things when I started a podcast, Dave was going to this podcast website. I was like, you're never going to get noticed there. But it's for podcasting. I was like, nah, you got to go on YouTube, dude. Second biggest search engine in the world. So it's a matter of they got the market corner to get noticed. If you have any, first of all, it's so hard to get noticed on YouTube as it is. But if you have any chance in the world, it's going to be in here. You know? And then it's not like Hollywood. You don't have to, or at least used to not be. You don't got to know somebody. And, you know, you can get lucky. Nowadays, I think you got to know a bigger YouTuber. Even more so than you did, I'd say, even a month ago.
Well, you could have just hit up Harvey Weinstein if you were in Hollywood.
Yes.
You just
yes.
could have done that.
There's a lot of that going on. I think that will be the case here. I think YouTube will grow up in that manner if this keeps up.
Can I ask one question then? If the YouTube came out with like FCC guidelines, like rules about swearing, all that stuff, would you still want to do it?
No, but I'd probably have to. You know.
Yeah, I just don't know if that would hurt your. I'd wonder if that would hurt your show even more than.
I'd have to get good, like Bunty King.
Yeah. All right, that was it.
Talk to you later. I'm more concerned about this bullying shit because every time you criticize somebody, it's bullying. That's the catch-all. I have the problem with the bullying.
Everything's bullying now.
Yeah. Thanks, Mormon guy. And Joe Montana. Is it the real SomeBlack? Is that the real SomeBlack guy?
His mic's muted.
You better not be.
Damn.
I won't give him a chance. I won't yell at him right away. Probably walked away.
Yeah, you'd be racist if you did that.
Smoke a bowl. I don't want to let him go either. It puts me in a hell of a spot. I'll put some black guy on time so I get all his views. He's a 100K guy. Got the thing. Oh, he's gone? Maybe he's going to get it. I'll take one more call, some black guy, and then I'll get you next. Diorio. Nicholas Diorio.
Sound okay?
No, you don't sound okay. Now you got it. What up?
You sound like Dory trying to speak whale.
Can you hear this? Alright, I'm such a dick. Alright, this shit better work now. No, it don't work. Get off the phone.
Goodbye. You're the weakest link. Goodbye.
You're the good. Yeah. Remember that show? No, I don't want him. I want some black guy. Let's see if he's ready. No, he's not ready. Damn. Horse, you're on the air. What's up? I think it's time. We might have to. Maybe not a scan. You know what? I think I'm gonna crack. I think I'm gonna crack on this shit. Or at least go into it was like, check your mic here and fucking put somebody in there and say, I can hear you. I always wanted a show where I didn't have to screen the callers because I think that's cool. Autistic Pivel, you're on the air.
Acoustic Puddle.
What?
Acoustic Puddle is his name.
Fucking screen's far away. Give me a break here. I don't know what's going on. The fuck? Maybe I changed the damn server. I don't know. God damn. In Amsterdam, oh, that's the VIP one. Man, I have the best server. All right, let's go to the fucking East Coast. See if that works. God damn.
Let's try that.
All right, let's go to some black guy because he's trying to get through. Some black guy, unmute your mic. You got your mic muted. We can't continue this way. Luvex, you're on the air.
All right. My problem with taking down conspiracy theories and stuff like that is, do they really cause any like physical or emotional harm to anybody?
I think they do cause harm.
Okay.
They cause illegitimate, like take the Kennedy situation. There's never been a shred of fucking evidence to prove any one fucking critic. So people run around thinking the goddamn government killed. I mean, it's one thing if it happened.
No. If you ever seen X-Men: Days of Futures Past, you find out that Magneto killed.
Son of a bitch. No, I think it does do that, and conspiracy theories become a substitute for critical thinking. I think that affects the masses.
Do you think it could be put under the same category as slander, almost in a way?
No, because the individual, you can say crazy shit. The problem with you have to almost tolerate them, sort of like you do the racist. You have to actually tolerate them almost because you get in the position that YouTube might be right now by striking Alex Jones. Like, what's conspiracy theory? What's legitimate speculation? And you open up a whole can of worms. You know.
I mean, I guess you can't really take someone down for hurting someone else's feelings, though. That's the problem.
Well,
right.
Well, now when you have a rule like harassment and bullying.
Well, yeah.
Bullyment.
Is that really the same as hurting someone's feelings, though? I mean,
no, it's not. It's just a catch-all.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a catch-all. It's bullshit, is what I'm telling you. Not the FBI.
So
why doesn't Alex Jones stick to a gay fraud conspiracy theory? You see, that doesn't hurt anybody. I don't think. If anyone, he's a crisis actor. Brilliant. He is a crisis actor. You're absolutely right. Some black guy can't get his fucking shit going.
He has his mic on mute.
It's not. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Is that him?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Lubix, you're not a big YouTuber. Get out of here.
Goodbye.
All right.
That's terrible. Thanks.
I didn't want to say anything while you guys were talking. I was like,
no. Oh, okay. All right. Get out. I gotta suck this guy's ass. Where are you at in this, some black guy?
I'm actually okay. So, I want to say the first thing I want to say is that I love Alex Jones to death as a character.
Sure.
I think he's probably one of the he's entertainment for everybody.
He's
right?
a YouTube legend. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing that's actually kind of interesting though is I think a lot of people are kind of pointing towards some of the wrong things, like say the whole harassment and bullying thing. I've seen people freak out about getting labeled under certain things, and we got to remember that there's only so many criteria that you can be labeled under when your things get flagged. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's just like, oh, hate speech, it's this, or violence. Like one of my videos got taken down for violence. It didn't have anything in it. It was just somebody selecting that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Now, what I'm getting at is what I think is it's kind of like what he's doing is slanderous, where he's done this before at like that Comet Pizza place, and I think he was like undergoing a lawsuit or something, or they were threatening to sue him, and he had to apologize online. And this is one of those things that when you're threatening these kind of things, that you just really destroying the credibility of these people. And I saw some of the, you know, quote unquote evidence, right? Where the kid had to keep doing take after take. It seemed like he was being directed to what he had to say and stuff. And to me, it's like, that's not enough proof. I'm sorry.
Well,
I mean,
some weird shit too. That could be proof of some kind of anti-gun political agenda, which is not a far leap when you're criticizing CNN. But it is not proof that he's a crisis actor. It's just an outrageous thing to say, considering what the kids. It's just it's hateful. You know, it really is fucking. It's a terrible thing to do to this poor kid, even if he does have an anti-gun agenda. You know.
And it's one of those things that like I definitely I didn't want Alex Jones to get a strike on his channel or anything like that. I think that was kind of one of the worst ways to handle it, because it's kind of, you know, making him somewhat of a martyr, where they're striking him down because he is right, and you know that's exactly what he's telling his audience. And,
what do you think they should do, though? If it wasn't handled right, what was the right way to handle it? It's complicated. It really is complicated, because it's one of those, they probably even have in a meeting. How do we deal with this? Because he's so large, and then then becomes a slippery slope argument where, okay, if what about all the other people that are saying the same type of stuff? And this is kind of happening because they're dealing with algorithms. Because there's a woman, she's a YouTuber, that she's all into science and everything, and she's about debunking bullshit. And her video got flagged down under the same criteria just because it had to do with the same subject matters. I seem to remember this happening to Thunderfoot back in the day too, where they flagged his video like a science video, if I'm not mistaken. It's going back to 2013, so I'm getting a little gray and old. But I seem to remember it happening to him, or criticism of Islam or something like that. It just opens up so much else. And then, you know, I tell you so, if YouTube stood up and said, look, this is the price of freedom, that would be one thing. But, I mean, it's a worldwide market. It might not even be that easy to do it. And in some aspects, I sympathize with them, because this is just like, what he said is fucking flat out crazy. That statement kind of does damage that kid. Now, you know, Luvix, you're right. It is kind of slanderous in a way, because it does damage that kid.
No, and that's the part that I can agree with. And here's the thing, like, and I said this in the chat, that no one is a free speech absolutist. It's a ridiculous thing.
Oh, I am not. I've never claimed to be, and I think people.
I know you're not. I know you're not for sure. It's just that there's certain people that are like free speech or death, and I'm like, no, that's not a thing, because I know, like, say on my platform and a lot of people's platforms, in their home, in their general vicinity, I'm for sure 99.9% of people don't want to fuck with child fuckers, right? They don't want to talk to them. No, they don't want to hear them out. They don't want to. Somebody's handing you a flyer saying, hey, could you lower the age of consent? And I don't think you would be like, hey, that sounds like a good idea. Like, tell me more. You'd probably like, fuck off, dude, before I call the cops or some shit. Yeah. You know, so it's that kind of deal where there's definitely limits. We definitely have these thresholds that we don't want crossed. And I understand that YouTube, since it's their platform, since they can, to a certain extent, you know, control what they want on here, and what we kind of have to do is, unfortunately, is adapt, and that's what we've been doing, right?
You know, part of your freedom of speech is being able to platform and not platform what you want, and reject what you want. You know, my situation with George Sparkle, I reject that, and I have every right to reject it. You're taking my speech away, my ability to do things, by not being able to reject something. I mean, if you have, you know, absolute free, you know, free speech absolutists sound pretty oppressive to me on what choices that I can make. You know, or what I choose to hear, or what I choose to platform. If a free speech absolute, anybody could come on and say, I want to be on Chop from the Point. Man, fuck that. It's mine. You know? No,
that's ridiculous. It's one of those things, and I've ran into that before, and a lot of people run into that. You run into some, like the alt-right, for example. They would be, a lot of their members would be mad that, why don't you want to platform these people, or how come you don't want to platform? I thought you were all about free speech. I'm like, I am, and here's the main thing that a lot of people miss. I'm a free speech advocate when it comes to the First Amendment, meaning that you're not going to get thrown in jail for the stuff that you say. You are free to say it.
Sure,
you can say it, but it doesn't mean that I have to put up with that shit.
No,
it doesn't mean that I have to put it on my platform and embrace it. It's like, no, fuck all that shit. Like I said, child fuckers. I don't want that on my platform.
What about retard fuckers? What do you think of them?
Man, I am not getting into that bullshit.
Why are you not getting? A dumb girl is a beautiful girl. Nothing makes me happier if she cannot count to 9.
Man, are you trying to get me into some fucking blood sports, man? I'm too busy for that
fuck
shit.
that shit. You know, here's how you handle blood sports. Fuck off. I did it. Worked fine. Had a great week last week. Made a lot of money. Fuck them.
I mean, no, for sure. Yeah, I do. I'm moving next week. I got way too much. Like I said, I have a few minutes. I have a few fucking minutes.
You're a pussy. Go on to Kumite.
You know, I will say this, and this is not even about that specifically. This is just in general. All right, I never understood the concept of people acting tough on the internet.
Yeah,
I never really understood that.
Me either.
I never fully got it because I was under the impression that you couldn't do it. You couldn't be a tough guy, and there was no cowards. You're just talking. You know, there's no face-to-face shit.
No, it's weird because it also coming from a background where I was in the army with special forces guys and met them and guys like friggin' Vega, and you're talking tough. Give me a fucking break. You have no idea what it is. You don't even you don't know where tough starts or ends. You don't know your asshole from tough. You know, it's just like get the fuck out of here. You know.
Here's the last thing I want to say as far as that goes. The only time that I like experienced genuine fear, you know, as far as being scared or something, was when I was in Arizona, and I was hanging out with this girl that was going to ASU, and she had some crazy ass parents, and her mom fucking like tracked her down for whatever fucking reason.
She's with some black guy.
I probably it's a possibility. It's a possibility, bro. Yeah. And her mom showed up with a fucking Glock. Like it was actually a 45. It looked like.
I should be interviewing you for that. We haven't done an interview in a minute. We're coming up on a year in our interview. I got to get you back. Maybe we have an interview of all your crazy band stories, you know, and then you know, white mamas coming down with Glocks. That's a great interview. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was some interesting shit. But I would say that I was fucking legitimately scared.
Yeah.
Talking shit on the internet and all this stuff. Come on, man. That's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing to be afraid of. It's just, do you want to do it or do you don't want to do it?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm scared that somebody's going to challenge me to a boxing match, not because I'm afraid to fight, because I don't want to take my shirt off in the ring.
Hey, I'm right there with you, bro.
How are your cardio compared to KSI's right now?
What's that? The cardio?
Yeah.
My cardio couldn't be better than KSI's, man. With the way I smoke. Look, you want to see something crazy? Some black guy can't see that. I bought a 10-euro pack of cigarettes, and you can see how big this motherfucker is. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking Keemstar fast as fuck could outrun me at this point. Fucking, because it was really cold today, like it was below 0. I'm like, I ain't going out the rest of the day. I'm gonna buy this fucking 10-pack so I'm good for the fucking next 2. So I don't even know at this stage.
Damn.
You know, there was a time where I was swinging for the fences. Those days are long over. And our buddy here, being over 30, I think understands that to some extent. So, man, how you been otherwise? Forget the politics. How you been?
Good. I mean, making some pretty big moves behind the scenes. Like really? That's basically all I've been really focusing on. Then I said, like, I'm moving next week. So
you're going back to Greece?
No, fuck no. No way.
Fuck
no
that.
way.
Yeah.
I'll visit there someday, but I ain't fucking moving back there.
Yeah,
but,
some po-ass white people over there.
It's chill, man. I think it's actually one of those places that it's not being completely just fucked by mass immigration. So I would say, hey, enjoy Greece while you can.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because it's better places to go, because even the white people are poor over there.
I mean, sure. It's not as bad as people think, but their economy still isn't great.
Yeah, by European standards, it's frightening. And every time they turn around, they're asking us for money over here in Germany. But, I mean, look, the Greeks are great, and it is a beautiful country, but, you know, they mucked it up real good over there. And they seem to, the solution is to spend more money, which is what got them in that place. That's another story.
Hey, if you want to make money, you got to spend money.
Yeah, they don't, but they just, you know what? Greece's economic policy is sort of like the Joker in The Dark Knight, where he just lights all the money on fire and laughs. That's kind of the Greek economic policy. You know, that's the way it goes. Hey, listen, man, I'm going to put you in the title because I'm a whore for views. So after the show, I'm going to put you. I got to pay. I got stuff to pay. But we'll be looking at
no worries.
Last question. Have you gotten I've gotten my first taste of the alt-right. I've kind of turned a blind eye to them, I'll be perfectly honest with you. you know, coming up watching you guys and Thunderfoot and stuff like that. And I don't consider myself a member of the skeptic community. I mean, my show's a circus act. I mean, let's be honest. Have you experienced any kind of backlash or kind of hate from them or something, anything spooky, or is it just, you know, kids on the internet saying weird things?
Yeah, it was mostly just like my understanding of the alt-right in the very beginning, like say over a year ago, was I kind of misunderstood what they were. I thought it was more of an alternative right movement and not just
that's
like
what,
this.
Because Milo told me that. I thought it was too. I thought it was like a libertarian right wing, you know, not quite conservative and somewhere in between. It ain't. It's far right. It ain't
it's
all
very
right,
far
it's
right and more just about like, you know, white nationalism and advocating for ethno-states and whatnot. Sure. And once I started to realize that, and I interviewed this one guy named Nathan Domingo, he was that guy that punched that Antifa girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that at Berkeley. I interviewed him, and then I'm like, okay, this is what you guys are about. Like, the fuck.
Oh, he was one of those
all
right dudes to punch that girl? I thought, see, I kind of thought I didn't have a problem with what he did. But he's like a white nationalist, that dude? He looked it.
Yeah, he definitely, he was a white nationalist.
I didn't have a problem with her fucking laying in that chick. She joined the fray.
No, she definitely deserved it, and she even had a bottle and stuff too that she was ready to like fucking crack over someone's head. So he like took her out.
I don't
care.
The whole thing I don't believe in women with bottles. I'm gonna crack your fucking skull if you come near me with that, man.
Exactly. It's just it was self-defense, even though it looked fucking bad.
It was
one of the things, but long story short, I started to realize like you know what they're really about, and I'm like, this isn't for me because. At the end of the day, I wasn't really fucking with identity politics, and for the most part, that was one of the reasons why I started making videos was because people were trying to interject all this identity politics and anti-whiteness and pro this and this in fucking video games and whatnot. Yeah. So when I saw them pushing their agenda, I'm like, oh, this ain't for me. Like, fuck off.
The right wing.
I don't want anything to do with that.
They're right wing SJWs. And exactly what they are. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And so I don't get that much shit because I just don't really fuck with it. I just. Like, and mainly why I don't fuck with it because they're not fucking with things that I love, and that's really important because I started my channel because the left-leaning SJWs were actually screwing with the video games and all this media and articles that I would read regularly and podcasts I would listen to. Like I would listen to a lot of gaming podcasts and whatnot, and all of a sudden all these identity politic talking points started just being interjected, and that's not happening with the right. No, that wasn't happening with the far
But they're
right.
saying, you know, the right saying scarier shit, though. I mean, they're trying to talk
They are. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Like, and that's why a lot of people are like, oh, why aren't you like attacking them and all this shit? Because I'm like, here's the thing. I'm not a crusader. I'm not here to, you know, change shit. I was just here to tell people to shut the fuck up and chill out. Yeah. And there's other people that are doing a good job of that. And I'm also moving on to some other stuff that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Like, you know, I got things in the works. So for the most part, the alt-right haven't been fucking with me that much. They took down one of my videos. They flagged it down. It was just a video talking about I hate identity politics, and I was shitting on the left and the right. But, you know, the people on the right were kind of a little more saltier.
Well, I don't think there was as many of them. Does it make you sad like it makes me sad? And I've never considered myself a liberal, not for a minute. I don't even like the word. Does it make you sad that a lot of the accusations during Gamergate and maybe even shortly after of just about everybody from, you know, Thunderfoot to TJ to you, to Bunty King to a lot of guys, they're always accused of being alt-right. And it was never even mildly true that movement or this online movement or whatever it was, whatever you want to characterize it as, was never the case. But it's when you make the accusation now, it's actually a lot more true than it was, let's say, in 2014, 15, and 16. Does that make you sad like it makes me sad?
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, and I don't know if you noticed, like there's certain people that are kind of just moving forward and trying not to get tangled up in all this bullshit. There's because there's a lot of people that are bickering and fighting, and that's going to keep going on. There's going to be a lot of the drama is always going to be there, but there's certain people that just aren't interested in that, and they want to move forward with their branding and their livelihood, and they're getting mixed up with all that shit. Yeah, being labeled as alt-right or whatever. That can really tarnish. I mean, like there's certain things that you want to do. Maybe you want to. Let me give you a huge example. Anthony Fantano, the Needle Drop, that he was going to do one of his speaking tours, and because Fader or whatever wrote an article saying he's like a part of the alt-right and all this bullshit, then he had to cancel it. Yeah. And so it's like, man, it's not fun. Well, what is this shit? It's not even. This isn't cool. Like, let's just like move forward. Let's do what we kept doing. Let's have a good time. Let's tell people to chill out, and then you know, I think that's the best way to go about it. because if you're like, say, if you're looking for big opportunities, like how he is now, he's up there, 1 million+ subs, and just got a lot of shit going for him.
Yeah,
you can't, spend too much time fucking with all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's gonna hurt you in the end.
Well, I think the Sargon is just don't pay any attention to them because they're not that big to begin with. Thanks for the sub on Twitch. Appreciate that, Speedy Bird. Yeah, and I think that's the Sargon thing is they're just not that big. They're bigger than they were. I mean, I don't know about you, but I never saw anything like what happened in South Carolina in my lifetime. Like, there was no Klan rallies. I saw one Klansman in my entire life in Washington, New Jersey. And it was just a complete freak. They happened to be handing flyers out on the damn side of the highway. This never was really an issue. It does seem to be growing. It does seem to be growing, but it's still, even at this point, I would even say the alt left or the far left or an Antifa, I find them to be much more dangerous at this stage. But I do worry about the alt right.
About growing to a certain state. No,
if they were in the universities and on the internet and in the power and the force that we see the SJWs, we would have a real fucking problem. A real race problem, not this bullshit race problems we've been hearing about the last 5 years. A real problem.
Yeah, and this is, look, I understand this is what they want to, but I kind of looked at it this way. Like, the general population, the normies as we call them, they're genuinely, like, on average, good people. And here's the thing. When you hear, like, left-leaning talking points, they sound good on paper.
Yeah.
Like, you hear, like, hey, feminism, equality, even equality of outcome. If you don't really understand it, it just sounds good on paper, right? You're like, oh, equality of outcome, that sounds good, even though we know when you break it down, it's not a good thing because you're forcing people to do things that they shouldn't be doing, blah, blah, blah. But now when you hear the alt-right's talking points on paper, it doesn't sound good.
No.
The general population aren't going to fuck with it. It's
I think that's one of the reasons that, people give communism a chance, because Prager University did a whole thing on this. The left on the surface, even though it's authoritarian, just as authoritarian as the far right, the far left sounds nice on paper. Well, get along and be happy. The right is, we'll be happy when we get rid of everybody and we're going to be real hard on everybody. It's ugly on the surface. Whereas the left is not ugly on the surface,
Exactly. That's their biggest challenge. And I really think that, like, the general public will reject these ideas. And you've already seen it happen. There's a Republican that has been spouting, he's a huge fan of David Duke and, all this shit. And he's like trying to just have his voice heard. And everyone's like, dude, we don't want anything to do with you.
Peace.
They're, get the fuck out of, we want nothing. RNC, they're like, no, nothing. Get the fuck away from us.
Me and you were very lucky to be born in the West. And if you really look at when the far left or the far right gets their grips into the country, it usually comes around with incredible poverty or some serious upheaval. People can't get shit done for whatever reason. They can't raise their families. And fortunately, when your economy's good, or at least survivable, a lot of these far left and far right movements just tend to go by the wayside. The Rote Army faction here in Germany, Baader-Meinhof gang, they really could never get a grip on their far right movement because Germany in the 60s was a great place to live. And I think that's why ultimately most of these movements will fall apart. Nathan Kraft, thank you so much. SomeBlackGuy, thank you so much. Please say something in chat. This guy's really great. Does great commentary. Did something great on 2 videos on Black Panther. Should I see it or should I not see it?
I've heard good things.
I would say if you're a fan of the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, see the movie.
But I never liked Black Panther. I always found him irritating. I had to be honest with you.
I would just say, like, you might like the movie. You might like the movie.
Let me ask you something. I love Black Ops. Yeah. I love Shaft. I love Superfly. I love 70s black exploitation films, right? I even like the one that John Singleton did with Samuel L. Jackson. I like that. I'm going for it. I don't care if Whitey's the bad guy. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't even care if there's a little SJW in there. And in fairness, one of the reasons I think this is done so well, because to some extent, Black Panther's always been a bit of a SJW, going back 20 years. Do I get that vibe from it, or am I getting preached to?
No, you're not. The thing about this movie, you're not going to get preached to. It just happens to be a Marvel film that is set in Africa in a fake place called Wakanda. Yeah. It's one of those things that
an ethno state, right?
Me at all. So
it's an ethno state, right?
It is, and that's the best thing about it. It's like the alt-right's dream.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. When you kill all your enemies, you start killing each other. That's the way it rolls. You know?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always, like, mankind is always going to be at war with each other. It doesn't matter. Like, thinking that, oh, just having just one little ethno-state or whatever, we're all going to get along. Are you fucking kidding me? Have you read a history book at all?
Let me tell you
like,
something.
the people, even when there was, like, 0.some% of non-whites in Europe, all of the fucking warring that went on, trying to conquer everything and say war is
the Irish were killing each other until the English king came over, and then they all united to kill each other there. The English and the Irish. It just goes on forever.
It's ridiculous. It's a silly concept to think that everything's gonna be this blissful utopia once one color is just all here and we're fine.
I got news for you. There's plenty of white people that I don't want to be fucking shacked up with, and I'm as white as they come. Let me tell you something. Here's what I don't like about white people, and I would say like this in the stereotype, or like this is the stereotype about white people that I don't like personally. Let's be honest, there's a stereotype about every group of people that is irritating. I even got one for the Irish myself. Blowhards. White people produce blowhards. Big Bill O'Reilly fucking O'Donnell blowhards. I do not want to be in a fucking walled-off area with those motherfuckers. I'd rather live anywhere but that. I'd rather live with the goddamn refugees. To be perfectly honest with you, than be completely surrounded by white guys saying stuff like, you should take care of your kids better, and you should be like me, and this is what's right, and this is what's good. Fuck you, old man. That's what I don't like about white people. I don't know what you don't like about white people, but that's what I don't get, and I don't want to be locked up with them.
I don't know, man.
There's my personal argument against an ethno-state. I don't want to be locked up with too many white people. I can only take it for so long.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna take your word for it. I don't have anything to add to that, because I'm just.
You probably have something to add to that. I'm sure white people aggravate the shit out of you, and probably Jeff too. Don't be afraid to insult me. I don't give a fuck.
It's not. No, it's not even about that. It's just essentially I just want to be left alone so I can jerk off and eat sandwiches and play video games. That's pretty much all it comes down to. I don't really care if you're white, black, fucking whatever, dude. As long as you're not like in my space all the time or trying to tell me what to do or think or whatever, we're cool. That's
I want to live in your state.
I just want people.
I want to live in your state. That's where I want to be. Wherever the fuck you're going.
That's what I said, man. Yeah. Everybody just do your thing. Let's just not fuck with each other, and then we'll have a good time. I mean, why do we have to? I don't understand this whole. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to get too far into this shit.
All right. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, SomeBlackGuy, and make sure you sub his channel. He's got a lot of interesting takes on things, he's reasonable and rational and a good, very smart man. I'll talk to you later, brother. Peace.
All right, later on, man.
All right. Well, I think we're going to say special guest SomeBlackGuy, right, Jeff?
There you go.
He's good, right?
He's decent. I'd say he's decent.
Ooh.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
You're in trouble. We got to suck these guys' ass.
I thought you don't get on your knees. I thought you don't do that.
You know what? I got to do. I got to kiss these guys' ass a little bit. There's a limit. You know what I mean? But I didn't say anything to him that I didn't mean. White people are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they really are.
They are. They can be real pain in the ass. I remember like I caught this catfish, right? And I caught him on a rod and reel that I shouldn't have caught him on. I don't even know how I dragged him up, right? It was really designed for like a sunny, in a pool. Yeah. And I, for some reason, got hooked in good. And I saw the line gonna snap, and I grabbed the line, I pulled it up. I was about 15, right? And I was like, I caught this son of a bitch, right? Yeah. And then from across the way, some fucking Cub Scout's dad was like, "You caught the son of a beach? Is that what you said, son? Man, fuck you." I hope that was a hole in that boat and you fall in the lake. Fuck you.
Did you yell back, "I caught the son of a bitch"?
Yeah, beach. Yeah, and he told my mom. He snitched on me. White people love to snitch. It's true. It's true. Hey, white people are great. Don't get me wrong. But there's things I don't like about them. Black people irritate the shit out of me too. And so do fucking white hillbillies like Jeff.
Yep.
They fucking irritate the shit out of me. Right, Jeff? Except when they sing. Go ahead, Jeff. It's on you. I strangely want to put Frenchy Ben on. Hey man, can you get me over get me over 100 likes there? Let's get this is a really good show. Frenchy Ben Richard. What do you like the smart girl?
Smart girl?
Do you like a smart girl? I don't like. My name is Jean-Pierre. Or what's his name? John, I forget his fucking name. Do you like this smart girl? I do not like this smart girl. If she can spell her name, I will not sleep with her.
I studied with a guy like that.
Did you really?
Yes.
Probably him. This guy's a fucking biologist. He's about our age. It's probably the same guy.
But the guy I knew was a total creep.
This guy. What was his name?
Alain.
What was his name?
Alain.
Alain. Oh no, Jean. This is what the fuck is JF?
Alan.
John Francois. Jean Francois. That's his name. John Francois. How you been, Frenchie Ben?
So happy that you're talking about Alex Jones today.
Yes.
Because you know I've listened to him for years.
No, you're
but
a big fan.
Since...
We've had arguments over Alex Jones over the years.
Right.
Yes.
But today I don't think we will.
No.
Since 2014, I don't listen to him anymore. But it's not the first time he gets a strike.
Oh no. Okay. When has he gotten a strike in the past? Fill us up with some history.
He got some a couple of years ago. I know that it happened more than once.
Do you remember what it was for?
Every time he puts... Not exactly. I even think that they got rid of his channel at one point.
Really? You need to get this info to me. We can't just speculate. Otherwise, we might get a strike.
It's a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago.
And speaking of something you said earlier about the Jews on 9/11.
Did he say that? Did he say that? That's not accurate? I could have sworn somebody played it.
No, he said it, but not like this. He didn't say the Jews. But he told that some Jewish companies got...
all right, that's what
got the info. Got the info that they were not supposed to be there that day.
Are you? Doesn't that bother you when you hear that? Because I know, look, I understand he's entertainment for you, all right. But doesn't that bother you when you hear that? I mean, that's kind of a real swipe at Jews, man. You know, I mean, Jews can be a pain in the ass too. You know, every certain ethnicity. You Frenchies can be a real pain in the ass with directions.
That's right. You know, there's fuckers in every races and ethnicities, and so I don't focus on the Jews. But you have to know that Alex Jones was married to a Jewish woman,
and that's why he hates him so much, probably. You know why Jewish husbands die young? They want to.
No, he got separated or divorced recently in the last 2 years.
Oh,
I guess.
Really? Really?
3 kids?
God, he's like, is he younger? I think he's younger than me. Look at him.
Who?
People say I'm old and ugly.
No, I think he's 42, 44.
Oh, he's around our age, man. He's only a year older than me. That's it. I know
at the same time,
he's born in the 70s. I know that. He's born in the 70s. But go ahead, Frenchie Ben. A little delay.
You have to know that sometimes he goes over the top. It's a show. But at the same time, there's real info, and sometimes he goes too far, in my opinion.
I'm not saying everything he's ever said is false.
He woke me up to lots of things, Tommy C, about the Patriot Act, the NDAA,
sure,
the fact that AT&T has a backdoor for the NSA.
Yeah, I mean, look,
like
I'm not saying everything he says is wrong, but I mean, you know, some of the conspiracy theories border on slander and cruelty. I mean, this kid, who I don't agree with at all, this, what was this kid's name? I can't remember. David Hogg. That was horrible to do that to him. It was horrible because he's in the drama club. To say there's more here because he's in the drama club, you know, because you know, I mean, that's exactly that's a horrible thing to say he was an actor, a crisis actor. You know, it's like one of my callers said, he's the crisis actor, he's the fear monger. In a lot of ways.
I don't listen to Alex since 2014 because every time there was a shooting since the Augusta shooting and there was a shooting in how did they call that?
JF, what's happening? You're hanging out
it was in it was not in a mosque. It was
well, bottom line, everything's a conspiracy. You know, it's like there's never just like there's never a wacko that goes in there and fucking shoots a bunch of people. There's always something else going on. You know, it's always the same story with him. You know, and everything. Look, I got to end this because I got to probably film tonight.
But every time he says that the shooter is MK Ultra controlled, or right now it's they talk about crisis actors and things like that. I don't like it.
No, so. I don't like it either. I don't know if I like the strike either, but
family.
I don't know. I'm not a free speech absolutist. absolutist, like you said. All right, Frenchie Ben, hang on.
All of our hockey teams suck.
Yes,
that's right.
Hey, check out Get to the Point News, everybody. Click the description box below. Let's get the latest YouTube drama and scoop on Get to the Point. Appreciate that. And yeah, look for episode reel 2. And I just hit 700 on Tommy C's Arcade and iTunes and SoundCloud. I'll be uploading those shits right away. Frenchie Ben, hang on the line. So same thing with you, Jeff. It's time to say goodbye to absolutely everybody. Thank you so much, SomeBlackGuy. Apologize to the callers about not getting as many of them. I promise I'll be back with a Q&A this week. Hey, but it was a good show. We had SomeBlackGuy.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-Town, the King's home, slapping 5s, black stones. 6 Mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated, the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe, here's a headline.